Welcome back, friends. We've got some What the Hollywood to get to, per usual, every Tuesday. So, including a celebrity the Color 10 team, Jeremy, and myself spoke about last week. It is Miss Celine Dion. Yes, her upcoming documentary is titled I Am Celine Dion. And I know Jeremy, very excited. He will be reviewing it the moment he is able to. But before we get to his full-blown rave review, let's discuss what we know thus far about the documentary. So sadly, if you didn't know, Celine is living with and suffering daily from stiff person syndrome, which she revealed in December of 2022. It is a rare neurological disorder that causes muscle stiffness and painful muscle spasms. And if you didn't know, stiff person syndrome nearly took Celine Dion's life, which she revealed in an exclusive interview with Hoda Kotb. Now, her battle with stiff person syndrome has also affected her voice and the possibility of a comeback, which is truly tragic in every way possible, but especially after what Celine says in her documentary. Let's take a look at this.
My voice is the conductor of my life. When your voice brings you joy. I can't wait to fly. Ça va, les garçons? Je t'aime. You're the best of yourself. I need my instrument.
It's not hard to do a show, you know. It's hard to cancel a show. I'm working hard every day, but I have to admit, it's been a struggle. I miss it so much.
Breaks my heart. Like, she misses it so much. And the fact that she said it's not hard to put on a show, it's hard to cancel it. That is a true performer that cares about her fans. So you guys, despite all the trials and tribulations Celine has faced and continues to face, she made a triumphant return to the stage at the 2024 Grammys. In March, she shared that she is determined to get back on the stage and to live as normal a life as possible. So fingers crossed for that. Her documentary, I Am Celine Dion, begins streaming on Amazon Prime June 25th. Like I said, Jeremy's going to do a full rave review on it when the time comes. Okay, so let's also talk about a story we discussed in the recent past. Priscilla Presley and Lisa Marie's daughter, Riley Keough, they seem to have let bygones be bygones in the name of Priscilla's 79th birthday. So to rewind real quick. Following Lisa Marie's tragic passing this past January, her oldest daughter, Riley Keough, and her mother, Priscilla Presley, were on somewhat of a roller coaster ride of a relationship with one another due to legal matters regarding Elvis's estate, Graceland. So Riley actually inherited Graceland, here it is, upon her mother's death in January. However, in recent weeks, it was reported that Graceland was up for auction due to the late Lisa Marie's failure to pay back a $3.8 million loan. Graceland was reportedly used as collateral if the payment wasn't made. And funny enough, Priscilla posted a video in response to the auction news on her Instagram, basically saying, "It's a scam." So there it is right there. Well, here is the good news, everyone, of Elvis and Graceland. His home is staying in the family because a judge blocked the scheduled auction of Graceland by approving the restraining order Riley requested. And an emergency court hearing went down last Wednesday morning in Memphis, where attorneys for Riley presented their case to stop the auction, which was planned for last Thursday. So again, Graceland is staying in the family. So now Riley and Grandma Priscilla are rejoicing and celebrating not only the dropped lawsuit and potential auction, but also Priscilla's 79th birthday. This took place over the weekend. The two were reportedly dancing, having fun, enjoying each other's company. So everything seems right. Okay, for now, I guess. So far, so good for Riley and Priscilla. Also, 79 years old. I thought she was a little bit older, but hey, happy 79th birthday. Okay, and my final story is somewhat of a big one if you're a fan of this person. So I think a lot of men, women, and maybe even kids of the 80s and 90s welcomed this particular person into their homes to energetically and emphatically teach them about fitness. No, not talking about Suzanne Summers, Jane Fonda, or Billy Banks. I am talking about the one and only Richard Simmons, and it looks like he is making a comeback in a big Broadway way. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with Simmons in recent years, totally understandable, because the famed fitness guru has been living a reclusive lifestyle for years on end. However, Oddly enough, earlier this year, he shared a very odd message to X, formerly known as Twitter, stating that he was, quote, dying. Now, I've got the lengthy message here. You don't have to read all of it, but in its entirety, you can imagine the death message garnered a ton of concern from fans. So this prompted Simmons to later clarify that he was not, in fact, knocking at death's door, but that one day, sooner or later, we all die. Okay, great, thanks. Which brings us to present day, and Simmons plans to make a comeback on the Big White Way. He made the announcement on Facebook, writing, quote, "I just got off the phone with a friend of mine who is an attorney and manages famous artists in music. She wants to do an interactive Broadway show about my life." Okay, so not only would fans of Simmons get to A, see him in the flesh for the first time in years, maybe even decades, they'd also get the chance to work out with him, given there will be a space in front of the stage open for workout dance numbers. Simmons said he is excited about the prospect of his own Broadway show. The ideas are flowing, he's writing them all down. And basically, those are the only details about his potential Broadway debut at this point in time. So again, no real concept of the show, no date for the show. But the good news is, he is coming out of his reclusive lifestyle. And I know that our friends over at TMZ, you know, they've really been on top of Richard Simmons and his whereabouts. You know, especially there were some rumors that he had passed away, but then he came out and was like, no, I'm not dead. And now he's back on social media. So who knows when this Broadway show will actually, you know, take flight, if it ever will, but hoping we at least just get to see his bright, smiling face in the very near future. I think we have a little bit of time, but Jeremy, if you want to put in your 2 cents about Celine, you don't have to.
Oh,
I know you're doing a whole rave review on it.
Oh yeah, I will at some point. I was going to say Richard Simmons, though. I was surprised to hear that because I believe it was it Pauly Shore or somebody wants to do a biopic about
Yes.
his life, the
And
movie, and he has denied that, and he will not let that happen. But to me, I'm like, growing up with Sweatin' to the Oldies,
Yeah.
with my mom and my aunts doing it in the living room.
Yes.
To me, I would like to see, he's had an amazing life.
Yes.
So to me, I would love to see that biopic.
I
So
would
I don't know
love
why he'd rather do a Broadway show versus a movie.
And maybe it's because it's him truly doing the show versus someone else telling an iteration. I mean,
Well, is he well enough to do the show? And 8 shows a week on Broadway.
Yep, there you go.
Here's what I say. When I heard you do the story, I was like, I'll believe it when I see it.
exactly.
No offense to Richard. I wish him nothing but the best.
Right.
But it's exhausting and it's hard, and he's not been in the limelight in a long time.
Yeah.
So it takes a toll on your body.
I think to take us out of this, we can march.
And march.
And
step. And step. And step.
And we'll be back.
And step. And march in place and sweating to the oldies.
what was it? I'm a pony.
I'm a
pony. I'm a pony. We'll be back.